Hi, this is Netta Laurene from SmackDown, and you're listening to Freeform Rock Podcast.
You are listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast with Mark Alden Taylor.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Freeform Rock Podcast, which almost recorded without you, Lee. You were MIA.
Yeah, well, that meant maybe in another, and whether it be another world or another cloud, you can make your own guess.
Did you ever watch that soap opera called Another World?
I might have looked at it for 1 minute.
I just looked at it for the hot chicks, but the hot soap opera chicks.
That was around for a long time. I forgot about it. I should look that up on YouTube. It probably was pretty good.
Yeah,
I saw all my children.
Yeah,
that had Tim Delaney in it.
The only NBC soap left is Days of Our Lives.
Wow, that's been around. I think almost longer than I've been around.
I used to watch that with my mom, and I'd get into it, and then they had Roman Brady, Marlena Brady, they had all the freaking people in there. Freaking, I remember the Christmas episodes where they had an ornament for even the people who died on the show were there, and it was just freaking funny because I turned it on like a month ago to see it. It's still the same shit. It still has Marlena Brady,
wow.
Roman Brady, and Jack Black are still in there.
What was the one with Rick Springfield? Was that General Hospital?
That was General Hospital, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was still doing that while his album was hitting #1. That was.
Oh yeah, I think more people probably knew him from the soap opera than his music career until that took off.
Yeah, he was afraid to leave the music career until the soap opera until that took off.
I don't know.
Yeah. So how you doing, Brian? Brian's on here. Our month of blues. We're doing Muddy Waters Hard Again. So how you doing today, Brian?
I'm great. I'm glad we was here and because you need everything. You need the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, he's upset about the Pantera episode, so he was getting back at me.
No, but I'll say yes because that sounds better than the real reason.
So how you doing, Lee?
I'm doing okay.
Nice.
I'm finishing writing something, and I kind of needed a break, and this helped me have that break.
Cool, man. All right, remember that commercial, McDonald's? You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or that's I'm loving it, right? The da 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 da.
Yeah. In my neighborhood in Oakland, it would have been, you deserve to get your wallet snatched today. And then his buddy across the street is saying, I'm loving it.
Yeah, around the freaking the arena and the football field where the Raiders played, man, that was a bad area, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went to tons of A's games there, and the Warriors play there as well, or they used to. Now they're in San Francisco, but yeah, not a great area, but definitely saw a lot of games there. But it's right by BART, so it's perfect. It's a perfect area it's actually the perfect location for a stadium if you live in the Bay Area because of BART. But yeah.
Yeah, the A's are trying to get a new stadium, but the Giants are blocking them.
Well, yeah, because the Giants have their ownership rights. I mean, we're getting in kind of granular with the Bay Area, but the Giants have the ownership rights to San Jose. Otherwise, I think Oakland would love to move to San Jose, but the Giants won't let them.
Yeah, Oakland's been trying to move to San Jose. Well, you need to get out of that area, man, because you go to a game, you get mugged. On the way
over in New York, I went to see a group, and when I went out to the BART, some guy walking by saw me and kind of frowned a little bit and went, where are you going? More like just, wanted to know what direction I was in. Well, and he was a white guy with a yarmulke. But I told him where I was going, and when it's over there, I went, thank you, and he went, okay, and he walked. So I think he might have been in a bad mood, but he understood that maybe I need help. So he was actually being very cool. He was just outwardly a little bit distraught, but he wasn't a bad guy. He was just he sensed maybe I needed directions, and he told me. So that was cool.
And you've seen a lot of shows at the Oakland Arena, right, Lee? Like, I think you saw. I know you always saw ELO with Ralph there, right?
I saw that there. That's probably the only show I saw there.
Oh wow! Okay.
I saw Van Halen in the Cow Palace, and I
Sure.
think I saw Kiss there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Cow Palace used to be the venue back in the day.
Yeah.
That used to be where the Warriors played, wasn't it? Or didn't they
Yeah,
play there?
when they first moved to the Bay Area from Philadelphia, yeah, that's where they went.
Yeah,
Actually, the
I
Sharks
saw the
started there,
Warriors.
too. Yeah.
I saw the Warriors in a game in 1976. I don't even remember where.
Oh wow, because that was
It
Rick
might have
Barry.
been there.
Yeah,
yeah, Rick Barry was a great player, man.
he was.
Yeah,
The
I
freaking
loved-
underhand
I was
free
glad
throws.
I saw a game.
Yeah.
Oh, bad. His sons weren't as good as him, no.
No, they were like role players. Guys come off the bench, maybe shoot a three, but no, they weren't all around, well-rounded like Rick Barry was.
Yeah, Rick Barry was awesome. But it's sad. Peyton Manning's dad wasn't as good as the Mannings. So his sons are better.
No, but he still actually was a very good player. He didn't,
was
not a Hall of Famer.
He was on the Aints. So
And that was the problem. If he was on a better team, he might have been better.
maybe. But I've been to the Oakland arena there. I saw my grandma when I was up there visiting her in Alameda. She took me to see Ringling Brothers Circus there.
Yeah. They used to have the circus there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I went there once, so I've been there. I've been to the LA Coliseum, which is a really bad area around there too. And they built a new soccer stadium right next to it where I saw Iron Maiden on the Legacy of the Beast tour last year. So
Nice. That's near USC, right?
yes, it's right near
Okay.
USC.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a bad area.
Yeah, that's what.
And they have people selling parking at their houses. I go, no, thank you.
That's like that. It's like that in Lee probably knows. In Berkeley, all of the fraternities sell their spots for the Greek theater and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I never went to the Greek theater, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
But I understand what you mean.
yeah.
My friend took me to the U2 concert at the Coliseum in '87, and we parked at somebody's house. But that's when I didn't know better. But nothing happened.
Oh, yeah.
But now I look at that and go, no, I'm going to pay $10 more to go to a parking lot with security.
Oh yeah. You pay an arm and a leg now for parking.
Oh God, it's like $50 sometimes at the
It is.
Staples Center. You could go around. There's a bunch of off-shop parking lots, but if you park at the Staples Center parking lot, it's like $40.
Oh yeah.
And then I find some with the high-rise parking lots. They'll sell it for 15 to 20.
right.
It's still secure.
There was one guy I knew, and he mentioned how they had to go shopping, and all the parking spaces were taken, and there was a handicap spot, and that was available, and he said to his friend, "Park here," and he said, "It's a handicap spot. We'll get a ticket." He went, "If a policeman comes by, I'll take care of it." So what happened was they parked there and the guy left, and a policeman did see them and walked by. He went out of the car, and he went on top of the front hood, and he acted like he had an epileptic fit, and he screamed on top of his lungs and went, and the police officer saw it and shook his head and walked away.
He didn't even look for the sticker because this is kind of a sore point for me because my uncle's a paraplegic, and so you need to have that either on your license plate or the actual tag.
Yeah.
And more often, and some people, I totally get what the guy was doing, but it's always I've been in places with my uncle where he didn't have a place to park because I'm not sure everyone's legally parking there. So So don't do that, folks. Even if you can do an epileptic fit, but don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, these are unique people I knew.
Sure.
Well, it's like speaking of parking, Irvine Meadows used to be a thing down here in Orange County. They had a amphitheater there, Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, which I saw Rush. I saw Def Leppard, Night Ranger, Def Leppard, not Night Ranger. I didn't see them till last year, but I saw so many shows there. They closed it down, but when you went there, you didn't have to pay for parking. And the same thing with the new one they have in Irvine, 5 Points Amphitheater. You don't have to pay for parking. You just roll right in. And it was like awesome. And I was looking for the place to pay parking. Where's the $30 charge? They don't charge you in Orange County. Weird.
Yeah, I wonder if they add it to the ticket. That actually almost might be better if they just put it into the price of the ticket. But you're already paying so many fees because of Ticketmaster and things like that. But
it's like Staples Center. They don't do that. They don't add it to your ticket. You could pay to add it to your ticket on Ticketmaster, but it's still about the same price.
Yeah.
But different with Dodger Stadium. If you go to Dodger Stadium, I think it's like they're $25 to park there. But if you buy your parking ticket online, it's only $15.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I've been to Dodger Stadium once, back in 2000. I loved it, but yeah, I understand why people get there late because it's insane going there.
Yeah, man, I hate they get you with the ticket prices, the freaking charge upon charge, and then you get to the concert and you're paying like almost $50 to get in.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get you one way or the other.
Yeah, and then the shirts, man. I remember when they used to be 20, now they're like 40, like 35 to 40.
Oh yeah.
I'm going, damn. Even if you go online, you could find them cheaper on their websites, but at the day of the concert, man, they're expensive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, well, let's get into this album that you picked, Brian. Hard Again by the great Muddy Waters. This was produced by Johnny Winter. Is that Edgar's brother? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice. So how did you get into Muddy Waters? It's probably your dad, right?
Oh, absolutely. Muddy Waters was the first blues artist I got into as a kid. I just loved his swagger, the tone of his voice, and he also surrounded himself with the best musicians. My dad, I want to say in the mid '80s, he received this huge vinyl box set of Muddy Waters. I think there was about 11 records in it, and it was a present from his business partner. And the majority of Muddy's early work and the singles from Chess Records were included in this set. And so I listened to that box set like nonstop. And he was like the most popular artist in my world. And Muddy, for Hard Again, Muddy had been on Chess Records for over 30 years. So once Chess was sold to a music label conglomerate, Muddy was looking for another place to record. And so the natural fit was Blue Sky, which was under the Columbia label, and that was run by Johnny Winter's manager. So they kind of connected them. And what you'll hear on this album, it's really warm, it's well recorded, and the other thing that makes it super special is that everyone played in the same room at the same time. And even back in 1976, bands didn't often record in the same room, and so you can hear the tightness and also spontaneity in each song on this album. And the entire album was recorded in 3 days. But for the album title, you might be wondering, what is Hard Again? And so at the time, a reporter was asking Muddy and Johnny Winter after the album was released, and Johnny started to give an answer, and then Muddy kind of playfully interrupted and said that the album made my little pee-pee hard again. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So whatever pseudo Viagra the music gave him, Muddy's voice sounded great as in the past, and he was 63 when he recorded this, and today 63 seems like nothing, but bluesmen back in the day, they lived a tough life, and so this was not a young 63.
Yeah, in the second track of the song, I said, did they record this live in the studio?
Yeah, no, they totally did.
So
that's what they did.
That note is erased because you already said it, and I don't have to ask you that question.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so let's get into the first track, which you picked, Brian, Mannish Boy, on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything gonna be all right this morning. Oh, yeah. Woo! Now, when I was a young boy, at the age of 5, my mother said I was gonna be the greatest man alive. But now I'm a man, way past 21. I want you to believe me, baby. I have lots of fun. I'm a man. I spell him H-I. mannish boy. I'm a man. I'm a full-grown man. I'm a man. I'm a natural-born lover's man. I'm a man. I'm a rolling stone. I'm a man. I'm a hoochie man. Sitting on the outside, just me and my mate. You know I made the moon, honey. Come up 2 hours late. Wasn't that a man? I spelled him H-I. And that rubber than man. No me. Whoa, child. Why? That mean mannish boy. I'm a full-grown man. Man, I'm a natural-born lover's man. Man, I'm a rolling stone. Man, child, I'm a hoochie man. The lion I shoot, and will never miss. When I make love to a woman, she can't resist. I think I go down to old Kansas stew. I'm gonna bring back my second cousin, that's little John the Conqueror. All you little girls sitting out that line, I can make love to your woman in 5 minutes time. Ain't that a man? I spelled him A-child. And that rubber then I'm grown. No be. Oh, child. Why? That mean mannish boy. I'm a full-grown man. Man, I'm a natural lover's man. Man, I'm a rolling stone. I'm a man child. I'm a hoochie man. Well.
That was Mannish Boy. Why'd you pick that track, Brian?
Well, look, this might be the definitive track for many people. It was originally written by Bo Diddley, recorded back in 1955. Muddy did his own version of it back, I believe, in the early 60s, maybe late 50s. It's one of the most famous songs on the album, and definitely one of the most famous blues songs. And I dare say this might be the definitive version of the track, which is amazing because it's in the latter half of Muddy's career. But the band and the enthusiasm, just like the title, it's infectious. I mean, right from the beginning, Johnny Winter's yelling in the background before the band kicks in. You can tell this is going to be good. And then when you get to it, that standard blues tone that even non-blues fans know. I mean, if you're going to ask a non-blues fan to like hum a riff or a rhythm of what you would think blues is, they're probably going to go with this riff. You know, the da 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 da. I mean, it's totally. I mean, that's the blues. And then if you look for the lyrical content, look, the blues is usually about a few subjects. And one of the main ones is sex. And so this is definitely about Muddy picking up women and his like sexual power and his, prowess and things like that. But again, the band is just solid here. James Cotton is on the harmonica. He was with him for years before this. And you get these little guitar fills from Johnny Winter and Barb Margolin. And then Willie Big Eye Smith is keeping the beat on the drums. It's so steady. It's really the blueprint for a blues song.
What did you think about it, Lee?
I said that it's a pretty good opening track, but some of the basic one-dimensional aspects of the arrangement makes this one of the weakest tracks on this album.
I love this song. What a voice to start this off. It's freaking awesome. And then the music comes in, and I know this song. Fucking love it. I was like, I know this song. It's like it stood out to me. I go, dude, I know a fucking song. Because you picked a lot of stuff, Brian, I didn't know about, and I like it. I like discovering old music that's new to me. It's freaking awesome. And I go, wait, I know this one. I go, yay.
It's probably been in movies before, too. I can't give
Risky Business.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It wasn't in, what's that movie, the Babysitter movie? Wasn't in that when they were singing the blues?
we're gonna get to that, actually.
Oh, okay.
There's a song on this album that's on that.
Oh, cool. And then we get to the next song, which is Bus Driver. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
Yeah, I think the real hero of this album, and again, the resurgence of Muddy's career, it has to be given to Johnny Winter. He totally got what Muddy was about, and he didn't try to change him or update his sound like some producers would do. He basically went back to the vintage Muddy, and a perfect example is Winter's guitar tone. And the intro riff in Bus Driver is exactly the kind of tone that Muddy would have had in one of his 1950s, records on Chess. And of course, having James Cotton back on harmonica, along with his longtime piano player, Pinetop Perkins, it's exactly what was needed for the band and the sound. And James Cotton is easily in my top 5 blues harmonica players, and he's all over this song, and you get some great slide guitar work from Johnny Winter. It's crazy because almost all jam bands kind of owe a debt to the great blues fans, because Bus Driver is a perfect example. Even every player gets a chance to shine, and it's all feel. And for example, towards the end, Johnny Winter's guitar solo, and then Pinetop Perkins does a quick piano rip, which is kind of like a heads up that he's going to come in at some point. It's so subtle, but it's perfect. And other times, Muddy will just simply call out a guy, and that's his cue because they're doing this live. But it all fits the groove of the song. It's all organic, and it's great.
Yeah, it's over 7 minutes. I was like, wow, I thought this album would be like 2-3 minute songs.
Oh, they're jamming.
They're jamming on this album. What'd you think about this song, Lee?
This is a blues epic on here. It starts basic and builds in intensity, and everyone plays great. And you can tell they had a ball recording it. It's a really right-on tune.
Yeah, this is where I figured out, hey, man, they must be playing live together in the studio because this sounds so live and clear. It sounds great. And the blues harp on this song is so good. And that slow blues groove, man. I need some whiskey. And, man, I always need whiskey. Now, what am I talking about? And, man, this is a long jam, and a honky-tonk piano rules, man. This is a great jam. I like it. I was going, man, this song keeps going and going. I looked at the time, and I go, man, 7 minutes and 44 seconds. This is a jam.
Yeah.
They're just jamming away. They didn't know when to stop. And then we get to the next track, which Lee picked, I Want to Be Loved. So here's I Want to Be Loved on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
My soul on fire. Your voice is like an angel above. The touch of your hand, woman, drives me insane. But baby, I want to be loved. Crazy about every little thing you do. I even cherish your hug. Your kiss is so sweet, honey, thee can't they be? But baby, I want to be loved. Well, well, well. granny, daddy, yeah. Come, my friend. I love the way you walk when you pass me by. Even when you try to snuggle. The touch of your hand, honey, drives me insane. But baby, I want to be loved. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay, that was I Want to Be Loved. What'd you think about this one, Lee?
They cook with gas on this. It's one of the best songs on the album. This smokes.
What'd you think about it, Brian?
Yeah, this is written by the great blues songwriter Willie Dixon. You'll, of course, know him if you listen to Zeppelin. This was originally recorded by Muddy back in 1955. It's also the shortest song on the album, and it's a nice little blues shuffle song. This one's all about the song. There's no blues jamming on this one, which is actually a great, nice change of pace and typical of the singles written back in the early days of music. And everything was about the song, not the solos. And again, it was a nice choice to put this after the 7-minute jam of Bus Driver and a great harmonica solo by James Cotton.
Yeah, this is a killer jam. The drum sound and the whole band is on fire. Blues heart, piano on fire. And then the middle changes tempo so fucking good. I love it. And it's a short song, man. It's like one of these songs that should be longer to me. It just sounds longer the way it's done. And then we get to the next song, Jealous Hearted Man. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
This one's a little bit similar to Bus Driver, but it's a little bit more up-tempo. It's a shorter song. But James Cotton, again, gets to shine with some fabulous harmonica playing throughout the song and his solo. And then after Cotton's solo, you get Johnny Winter, and he does like kind of a non-slide guitar solo, which is a change of pace for him. But you can tell that it's his tone, and it's just a really well-crafted blues song and a great album track.
What'd you think about it, Lee?
This sounds more like a Johnny Winter tune that Muddy Waters sang on. It's really good, but I think it would have been even better on a Johnny Winter album. For this album, it sounds a bit busy and doesn't totally fit as well as the other songs, but as an individual song, I think it's great.
Yeah, this album keeps grooving along. I thought this would be more of a guitar-heavy album, but man, the blues harp is kicking some ass, and I put him up there with Paul Butterfield, man, because remember we were talking about that? I go, this isn't Paul Butterfield when I hear harmonica now, and now I'm going, well, this is just as good as Paul Butterfield.
Yeah. I mean, Butterfield was definitely influenced by guys like Little Walter, who was in Muddy's band, and of course James Cotton. So
yeah, this is like guitar does kick ass, but man, that blues harp is the star of this song. Then in the middle we get a killer guitar solo. Man, this track is my favorite on here. I love it.
Nice.
And then we get to the last song on side one, I Can't Be Satisfied. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
This is one of the oldest tracks that was kind of revised on this album. And the original version, Muddy cut back in 1948. And they really do stay true to the original vibe. And Johnny Winter plays some great lap steel slide guitar on this. And then kind of the subdued drumming is very reminiscent to like those 40s era, style recordings. And I love this updated rendition. And because the only major difference is the modern recording techniques, but it doesn't take away from the original vibe at all. And that's all because of Johnny Winter's guitar tone. It's absolutely perfect. And this is the way you kind of make something modern and old school at the same time. It's really well done.
What'd you think about it, Lee?
I'm not usually a fan of the country blues, but this manages to be likable. It's a cool song, and I dig it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Brian, is there a steel guitar on this? You just said it.
Yeah.
There was a steel guitar. I love that sound and the shuffle that's going on. It has going on. I love this song. Great song to end the first side. Then we get to the second side, which you picked, Brian. The Blues Had a Baby, and they named it Rock and Roll Part 2. So here we go with that song on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
All you people, you know the blues got soul. Well, this is the story. A story never been told. Why do the blues got pregnant? And they named the baby rock and roll. got soul. Pine Top said it. You know the blues got soul. Well, the blues done had a baby, and they named the baby rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Okay, that was The Blues Had a Baby and Called It Rock and Roll Part 2. Why'd you pick that track, Brian?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite songs, not just on this album, but Muddy Waters in general. This is the other really well-known song from the album, and one of his best-known later-era tracks. And as you had alluded to earlier, it was featured for a great scene in Adventures in Babysitting. So after Brad gets a knife thrown on his toe when he gets in the middle of the gang fight on the subway, this plays as they're rushing him to the hospital. But that opening harmonica riff is so awesome. It gets you right into the song. And it's really Cotton's harmonica riff that carries the song, not the guitar riff. As Mark alluded to, this album is very harmonica heavy and percussive, heavy. And the lyrics are basically a history lesson. It's almost like, the blues version of Let There Be Rock. The title says it all, and it's the truth, frankly. And even though the harmonica riff kind of carries the song, the guitar solo in the middle is fabulous and totally perfect for the vibe. And then the final solo from Bart Margolin, who's the other guitar player, he just carries the song home. Definitely a highlight song for me.
What'd you think about it, Lee?
This is a fun, cute song. I'm not ordinarily a fan of songs that are about music and describe the music, but this works. I could have imagined this as a single.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this song has so much going on. I like the line where he goes, Bruce got pregnant and named it rock and roll. So true. And the guitar is on fire and the blues heart, man. This is a great fucking rockin' song. I love it. And then we get to the next one, which is Deep Down in Florida. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
Yeah, this one's interesting. It's totally different, but it fits at the same time. And the drumming is just a little bit off kilter. And I think it's on purpose. And I think it's creative to break up the monotony a bit. But other than that, this is a typical deep blues track. I wouldn't call it filler. It's just a deep album track that really works in the flow of an album. And it definitely wouldn't stand out on its own. It's probably my least favorite song on the album, but it's not a bad song.
What did you think about it, Lee?
This sounds like the band Canned Heat. I can dig it, but I'm not usually a fan of this type of slow blues. But I dig the feeling in this, so it works for me.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. It's a good song. It's not my favorite on here, but it's got driving guitar and killer vocals and a blues heart, man. It's full of soul. But the other songs, man, were just kicking ass. And this kind of slows it down. And then we get to the next song, Cross-Eyed Cat. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
Yeah, this one gets things back on track. It's a fun little groove, and it's powered, again, by the main harmonica riff from James Cotton. And again, that's the great thing about Muddy's band. The harmonica player is actually more important than the guitarist. I mean, Lil Walter, again, was originally in his band before James Cotton came along. And then Paul Butterfield actually came later and played with Muddy as well. And so this is another great song for James Cotton to shine on. Plus, we also get a nice little piano solo in the middle, which works really well for the vibe of the song. And if I had one beef for the album, and it's a minor one, I think that Pine Top Perkins should have been featured a bit more. But man, when you have a wealth of riches in the band, it's tough for everyone to get their time to shine. But I think Pine Top sounds great here.
What did you think about it, Lee?
I do like it. I wouldn't want a whole album of this style of playing, but on this one song, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's a killer jam, and the blues harp is grooving. On all these songs, man, the blues harp is just kicking ass. The blues harp and this, and the little leads he is doing here and there, and it kicks into gear with a killer lead. This is a great song, man. And the piano is on fire in the middle. I can't forget about the piano. I love that piano on this album.
Yeah.
And I wish he was featured a little bit more. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you said. And then we get to I guess this is the last song on the album, which Lee picked, but I did 10 songs. So
no, there are 9 official and then 1 bonus.
Yeah, I did a review for the bonus track because I didn't know it was a bonus
track. I had an album that had Walking Through the Park with it.
Okay,
yeah, me too.
So did I. All right, so here's Little Girl that Lee picked on the Freeform Rock Podcast.
Just want to be your man. Little girl, why did you get your sugar from? Little girl, why did you get your sugar from? He was raised down on a Louisiana phone. Johnny, let's go back down to Louisiana, you hear me?
Okay, that was Little Girl. Why'd you pick that track, Lee?
Oh, this is the kind of blues I like. It's sort of like Jimmy Reed, who's one of my favorite bluesmen. It has a cool, slow groove I really like. It's one of the best songs on the album.
What'd you think about it, Brian?
Yeah, great call with Jimmy Reed. The original album ends with a slower paced track, very much like Bus Driver. It's a great way to end the album, and it kind of just allows everyone in the band another great chance to shine and kind of go out on a high note. Great guitar solo from Johnny Winter in the beginning. And then James Cotton comes in halfway through with another great harmonica solo. And then, as I was hoping with Cross-Eyed Cat, we get some good old barroom boogie piano solo from Pine Top towards the end. And I guess you saved the best for last, I suppose. And then the underrated Bob Margolin ends the solos with a terrific guitar solo with about a minute to go before Muddy wraps it all up. It's just an awesome blues jam to finish out the official album, the original album.
Well, I had a copy with a sticker called The Nice Price, and it was on Blue Sky, and I remember it had Walking Through the Park. So was the original probably the very first pressing that it concluded with Little Girl, and maybe I had one that had another song on it?
Possibly, yeah, because my original copy did not have Walking Through the Park, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it until they remastered it.
But I believe you, but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 2004 Epic CD. Nice Price was Columbia CBS, so that's probably the one you got, Lee.
Yeah.
So, Little Girl, man. This is a killer upbeat song to end a great... wrong one. Traditional blues, down and dirty. I'm running out of things to say on this first listen. This song is like all of them. It rules. And it's like 7 minutes again. It's like, dang. Freaking killer. And then we'll get to the bonus track because we all did the review on this. Walking Through the Park. What'd you think about this one, Brian?
So there were 2 tracks that were outtakes during the Hard Again sessions, and Walking Through the Park was one of them. It's a terrific bonus track. Totally fits the vibe of the rest of the album, which totally makes sense. It's more of an upbeat track, which I was really happy back when I got the remastered version in 2004. And sometimes bonus tracks ruin the vibe of the original album, but Walking Through the Park does not do that. I think it fits perfectly. And just to wrap everything up, there were 2 more albums made with Johnny Winter, with Muddy, to wrap up his career before his death in 1983. So definitely check out I'm Ready and King Bee, and they're both highly recommended if you enjoyed Hard Again.
And there was Muddy Waters Live.
And Muddy Waters Live.
And I had all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee, you're kind of in the background, your voice.
I had all 4 of them. I had that, and I also had Muddy Waters Live.
You still sound all muddy.
Ah,
there you go. There you got you.
I guess fucked it. But I had the one.
You're back to being muddy again.
He needs to get angry.
And I also had the live album.
All right. What do you think of Walking Through the Park? And speak into the microphone. You sound like you're far away from it.
All right. That's a cool song with a groovy, bouncy style. As if I'm walking through the park with a cutie. They all sound like they had fun recording it, and it shows. Okay, how do you like that?
You still sound muddy for Muddy Waters, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
That's okay. That's a real cool song with the groovy, bouncy style. As if I'm walking through the park with a cutie. They all sound like they all had fun recording it, and it shows. How about that one?
All right. Well, we got it twice. We got the muddy version and then the clean version. All right.
That was what I was hoping for. Thank you.
All right. This is a killer upbeat song to end this great album. It's moving and grooving. Killer drums on this one. I could dance if I knew how to dance. Get Up, and the solo is amazing. I freaking love this song. And I didn't know it was a bonus track till I looked on Wikipedia.
I didn't know until Brian told me.
I didn't know it either. So that was our review of Muddy Waters' Hard Again on the month of Brian, the blues month of January.
Yep.
And then we get into our tracks of the week. And Brian picked Muddy Waters, You Need Love. I picked Mountain for... Well, by the time this, everybody knows that Leslie West passed away yesterday, so we're recording this. This won't be out till the end of January, basically. A song called For Yasgur's Farm.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Great song.
I just got into
I'm
Mountain
surprised
too.
that you would pick it.
Well, I've been getting into Leslie West because everybody's been talking about him for a long time.
Well, it's kind of a obscure song, so that's really cool.
Yeah. So I was gonna pick Mississippi Queen, but I go, everybody knows that song. I want to pick a deeper track. Yeah. And then Lee, you picked Dirty Blues Band. Don't Start Me Talkin'.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
one note about You Need Love. Fans of Led Zeppelin will definitely recognize it because You Need Love essentially is a whole lot of love, and you'll definitely hear why they were sued by Willie Dixon because it's very similar.
Oh, they should have been sued. They should have just gave them credit, man. Help
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, except that one band tried to sue them for Stairway to Heaven. That was ridiculous.
Oh, was that Spirit?
Yeah, Spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get to...
I have to tell you really quickly, I heard the difference between Taurus from Spirit and Stairway to Heaven. Well, I heard an interview with Mark Andes where he said that they took the whole thing. Led Zeppelin only took maybe 5 or 6 seconds. The rest of the song is their own.
I agree.
I'm sorry. It was not a complete ripoff.
Well, it's like people said, Tom Petty said, man, we're music. We always copy each other, man. Let it go. And he didn't sue
I wish people would copy my music more.
He didn't sue the Chili Peppers for Danny California. They said it sounded like Mary Jane's Last Dance. He let it go. He said, we're musicians, man. We should be helping each other out.
Right on.
It's the blues always stole from other blues artists. It's not they took it and then made it better each time. So
sure.
There should be a song. I stole my blues from you, and then have a whole bunch of different songs copied.
Well, if you're stealing the whole song and using like the whole riff and the whole lyrics, then you should be sued. But if you're just using little parts of it here and there, there's no problem with that.
Well, yeah.
And then we get to Lee's song of the week, Restaurant. Were you in a restaurant when you wrote this?
I was actually walking by a restaurant when I wrote it.
Was it the restaurant from Seinfeld? You always talk about that one.
It was across the street. But it was probably Community Food and Juice.
All right. So we want to thank you again, Brian, for being on the podcast.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for indulging me on all these great albums.
Well, go ahead and pimp your radio show and your podcast.
Sure, man. Yeah, definitely the radio show. If you're into bluesy hard rock or frankly just the blues, that's the place to go. The Bad Beat every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific on thatmetalstation.com. There's lots of great shows on there. So check it out. And then the podcast, completely different. It's all about movies. A lot of fun. Check out Damn Good Movie Memories.
And then we end with our tracks of the week, which is Brian's Muddy Waters, You Need Love, Lee's Dirty Blues Band, Don't Start Me Talkin', and me with Mountain, Yasgur's Farm. And what is it? Condolences to Leslie West's family if they listen to this. And thank you for the excellent guitar tone. You know, I never heard a guitar player like him. It's like,
yeah, and check out his later stuff too. I mean, Mountain's amazing, but he's continued to put out great material even later in his life. So definitely check those albums
Bruce
out.
And Lang,
were
also really good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just sad because I started getting into him last year because everybody was talking about that live Blu-ray set he put up of complete shows. That was a huge box set of him just playing with his band, and I heard it was really good. And then I go, who's this Leslie West? I know Mississippi Queen. I started listening to it. Like, oh my God, this shit is awesome.
Oh yeah, he was. I mean, Hendrix loved him. Pete Townsend had said that he I don't even know if he was being facetious, but he was basically saying, I want to give up playing guitar after watching Leslie West play. That's how influential he was. I mean, talk to Zakk Wylde. I mean, all of those great guitar players that came after him absolutely love Leslie West. And he had a great voice too. That's the thing. And people just talk about his guitar playing, but I love his voice.
You know what's so really weird is, I was on Messenger with a friend of mine, and we were talking about Charlie Pride. And so that morning, I listened to some Charlie Pride, and then later I found out that Charlie Pride died that morning. I'm like, whoa. it was totally coincidence, but isn't that trippy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really trippy. And then, and I just...
But he was great.
He was.
I remember those memes last night that Samuel's putting up, the pictures of Leslie West and Zach Wilde. And then he had one with Leslie West with a Black Label on his thing, BLS.
Yeah, the best. Yeah.
That was cool, man. All right, all right, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, definitely. Yeah.
All right, that's the show for today, and the tracks of the week are coming. Lee's song, and Lee, you know what to do. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You got yarning, and I got bunny. Baby, you look so sweet and cunning. Baby, way down inside, woman, you need love. Woman, you need love. You got to have some love. I'm gonna give you some love. I know you need love. You just got to have love. You got to have some love. You make me feel so good. You make me feel alright. You make me feel so good. Oh, you make me feel alright. You make me feel so good. You make me feel alright. She's so nice, so nice. 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 You are fretting, and I am petting. Lot of good things, oh, you ain't getting. Baby, way down inside, woman, you need love. I know you need love. You just gotta have some love. Ain't fooling, you be schooling. Baby, you know you need cooling. Woman, way down inside. Woman, you need love. You got to have some love. You got to have some love. You got to have some love.
Down the road, stop at Fannie Mae's. Tell Fannie what I heard. Boyfriend say, don't you stop me talking. I tell her everything I know. I'm gonna break up this sacrifice. Lord, somebody's got to go. Old Jack give his wife $2, go downtown to get some market. Gets out on the street. Oh, Joy stopped her, he knocks her down, and black night, she get back home and tell her husband a lie. Don't stop me talking, I tell everything I know. I'm gonna break up this sacrifice. Lord, somebody's got to go. Yeah. Borrow some money, go to the beauty shop. he hawked his home. She began to style, to take me round, around the block. I wanted a beauty shop while I'm on. Here's my hairstyle on. Start me talking, I tell everything I know. I'm gonna break up the sacrifice. Lord, somebody's got to go. Borrowed some money to go to the beauty shop. He hawked his home. She began to style. So take me, babe, around the block. I'm going to the beauty parlor while I'm on. Here's my hairstyle, Lord. Start me talking. I tell everything I know. I'm gonna break up the sacrifice. Lord, somebody's got to go.
I know that it's great for me. You have great taste in food, and you are not a fool, because you liked me. Is it something that you say to everybody, or is that what I said to you? Are we going to be together every single day, or is this just a concept I can chew?
You have just listened to the Freeform Rock Podcast. All music played on the Freeform Rock Podcast belongs to its owner. If you like it, go out and buy it. Get your music on Amazon, iTunes, or at your local record store. Support what you love. Support the artist by seeing them live. Purchase their music. The Freeform Rock Podcast is not affiliated with any of the artists or music that we play. Thank you for listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Until next time, stay free and rock on.